Hi there, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. I felt moved like today is the day to share something I heard in the early morning on July 14th. And what I heard was commercialism dropped. Now, the root of commercialism is commerce, which is the buying and selling of things. So I did further research on that, and Reuters, June 15th, article, according to the U.S. Department of Commerce Census Bureau, retail sales dropped 1.3% in May due to the most recent findings they'd put out at that time, right around July 14th when I heard that. So, and then as I kept researching, as like a confirmation of what I heard on the 14th, they updated their figures July 16th, which was just 2 days after. And I guess retail sales dropped actually 1.7% in May instead of the initial 1.3%. So that was just confirmation for me that it did drop even further what they were initially reporting. And as I prayed on it, I was led to Ezekial, the day of the wrath of the Lord, which is Ezekiel 7:1-27. But more specifically, I was led to the verses 12 and 13. The time has come, the day has arrived. Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is upon their multitude. For the seller shall not return to what he has sold while they live, for the vision concerns all their multitude. It shall not turn back, and because of his iniquity, none can maintain his life. Now, I was also led to, as I kept praying on this, what I had heard, Commercialism Dropped, what do you want to tell me, Lord? And it just felt like this pertained to today as well. And it was Psalm 80. And Psalm 80 is the Lilies of the Covenant, a psalm by Asaph. Give ear, O shepherd of Israel, thou that leadest Joseph like a flock, thou that dwellest between the cherubims, shine forth before Ephraim and Benjamin and Manasseh. Stir up thy strength and come and save us. Turn us again, O God, and cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. O Lord God of hosts, how long wilt thou be angry against the prayer of thy people? Thou feedest them with the bread of tears, and givest them tears to drink in great measure. Thou makest a strife unto our neighbors, and our enemies laugh among themselves. Turn us again, O God of hosts, and cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. Thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt. Thou hast cast out the heathen and planted it. Thou preparest room before it, and didn't cause it to take deep root, and it filled the land. The hills were covered with the shadow of it, and the bough thereof were like the goodly cedars. She sent out her boughs into the sea, and her branches into the river. Why hast thou then broken down her hedges, so that all they which pass by way do pluck her? The boar out of the wood doth waste it, and the wild beast of the field doth devour it. Return, we beseech thee, O God of hosts, look down from heaven, and behold, and visit this vine, and the vineyard which thy right hand hath planted, and the branch that thou madest strong for thyself. It is burned with fire, it is cut down, they perish at the rebuke of thy countenance. Let thy hand be upon the man of thy right hand, upon the son of the man who thou madest strong for thyself. So will not we go back to quicken us, and we will call upon thy name. Turn us again, O Lord God of hosts, cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. Now I kind of broke that down verse by verse, and verse 1-3 is a prayer to Israel's shepherd for restoration. The poet was so sure that Israel's sole defense was God, so they could be saved from the assaults of hostile nations. And now in verse 4-7, God's anger makes his people sorrowful. And in verse 8-11, Israel is like a vine. God transplanted this vine from Egypt and brought it unto the promised land, making room by casting out the Canaanite nations. Under God's blessing, they took deep root and filled the land in a way the Canaanite tribes had not. And verses 12-13, it's the unprotected vineyard. Why have you broken down her hedges? Asaph looked at Israel's troubled state and knew that without the protection of God's hedges, the land of Israel was ready to be plundered and devoured by her enemies. All who pass by her way pluck her fruit. In verse 14 through 16, a prayer for God to take pity upon the desolate vine. Return, we beseech you. Asaph prayed on behalf of the nation to look upon the greatness of their need and to visit this vine that God, he himself, had planted. In verses 17 through 19, a restoration in the man of God's right hand. Asaph knew the nation needed leadership. He likely prayed this with reference to the present king of Israel, yet the ultimate Son of Man is Jesus Christ. So, in the strength of this man of God's right hand, God's people would be restored to faithfulness. They would be revived and once again call upon his name. So, just through Commercialism Dropped, hearing that in the middle of the night, and a lot of praying, it led me to several verses, and I just felt like this had so much relevance for today. So I thought I'd get on here and share that. I hope it blessed you, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.